We're going to be taking a peek inside of a budget from a couple who brings home more than $15,000 in cash every single month, and they have $177,000 in debt, not including the mortgage. It's about to get real. Come be nosy with me in this episode of Millennial Real Life Budget Review. Hey guys, it's Justine, your host of the Debt Free Millennials channel, where we talk about all ways to crush debt, achieve financial confidence that leads to more fun and fewer payments. If you're with me and you're on that train, you want to live that lifestyle, definitely hit that red subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And today we are doing a Millennial Real Life Budget Review episode. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, and this one just jumped out at me. And by the way, if you want your budget reviewed anonymously on the channel, there is a Google form for you to fill out below. The more information you can give me, the more accurate advice I can give you. Let's go ahead and take a look at what this couple has going on. First of all, they work in the tech industry is all they put. So I'm not sure exactly what position, what leadership position they have, because clearly they're making a lot of money, but they work in tech and they live in the Pacific Northwest. So Seattle, basically anybody who tells me Pacific Northwest, I'm like, oh, Seattle, oh, Washington. Easy, done. Okay, the biggest thing that they're struggling with financially is that they have a lot of debt, mostly student loans from grad school that they refinance. They live in a high cost of living area, Seattle. I'm just guessing it's Seattle. It's hard to get ahead with our fixed costs, including minimum debt payments and childcare are so high. Their kids are young, so they must have 2 kids, and we want to make the most of our time with them. So they spend more on the fun activities, but then things like expensive medical bills get in the way, especially with unexpected illnesses with their kids. I get it. And then it sets us back from their goals. I asked them what their top 2 to 3 financial goals were that they wanted to accomplish. They said, number 1, pay off debt. Number 2, restart retirement contributions. Number 3, sell our house and buy a new one closer to work, which will likely double our mortgage. And then I asked how much they have in savings for their emergency fund, and they have just under $30,000. They have $29,200. It was $30K, and they're getting it back up. So they are a family of 4 with 2 dogs, 1 dog that has some health issues, so it comes with more care, more vet visits, that sort of thing. And their income varies a lot from month to month, but take-home range is from $14,000 to $23,000 per month, around $275,000 for the year. They also pay $3,000, close to $3,000 per month in daycare. Let's just go ahead and get into their budget and see what's going on. The fact that they said, you know, their income ranges from month to month, varies from month to month, makes me think they are like a commission based or like base plus commission type position where they're working in sales perhaps, because that is a pretty big swing between the $14,000 to $23K. That's a big difference of $7,000. So let's take a look at their budget so far and see what they have going on. They actually planned for August $20,533, but they pulled in $15,940. This is amazing. This kind of stuff blows my mind because typically when I'm doing these types of budget reviews, I am reviewing income levels that I'm pretty familiar with, and I've not done one at this level, so this is pretty fun. Their debts, they have a personal loan, a car loan. Oh my goodness, here's where things get interesting. Their student loans, the minimum monthly payment is $2,983. Looks like they only did $1,989 this past month. So I want to know what actually is the minimum. Is the minimum the $1,989 or the $2,983? I wonder what's going on there. And then the total is $177,000. Their car loan isn't too terrible. The personal loan, I'm very, very interested what they put on the personal loan at 10% interest. That's interesting. Let's take a look at some of their fixed expenses of what they've got going on. They have a mortgage payment of $25.98, an HOA of $62, cell phone $50, internet cable security must be all wrapped up into one of $208. Groceries is $1,000. That's really, really high. I get it though. I was almost close to that amount several times in the past couple of months, so I get it. Utilities, daycare, here's where they were talking about $2,800 for 2 kids, I'm assuming. Baby expenses, pets, car insurance, legal. What is legal? Fitness, insurance. What type of insurance is this? Is this health insurance? Is this homeowner's insurance? Let me know what that is. What I did was I added up all of the fixed expenses for you, everything here. And actually, I feel like we could take out some of this. What I'm doing is I want to see if you truly have enough in your emergency fund so that we make sure that's all taken care of before we really start paying off your debt. So we could actually deduct charitable giving in a true emergency situation where you were to lose your job. We wouldn't be doing some of these activities, right? Legal. Like I hope that's not the thing. Okay, so $50 there. What else? I think everything else we would need to keep in a true emergency situation. Baby expenses, wellness. I mean, we could take that out. Let's see what that does. Okay, so roughly $8,000 in fixed expenses. And I know the biggest thing for you is that daycare expense, which is not gonna be forever, it's only temporary. But $8,000 all in. 2 months of living expenses for you is equal to $16,000. A 3-month starter emergency fund, which is what I always recommend before you go hard on your debt-free plan, for you, $24,500. So knowing that you already have $29,000 in your emergency fund, I would say stop contributing to the emergency fund. It does not have to be $30,000 unless that number is like hard and fast for you, but you can stop and then you can start redirecting money towards your debt-free plan, because I want you guys to get out of that as quickly as possible. I also want to see how much money you're spending on the fun stuff. Let's take a look. Whew, $28.56. So restaurants, $200 in coffee every single month, at home beans and to go. My goodness, are you guys drinking like 5 cups per day per person? That just seems like so much. Clothing, haircut of $300. Please tell me that's not every single month. It can't be. It cannot be. That's got to be a one and done thing. Let's see what you did for September. You still had that slated for September. Same thing for July. It was even more. Kids and replace basics. $603 in July. What are we doing with hair? Why is this so expensive? I do not understand this. That just seems really, really high. Gifts, kids' activities, fun money, dates, vacation was $1,000. Was this a one and done thing too? It looks like it. Also, your vacation fund is down here in the future, so I feel like that's where your vacation money should be going. And ideally putting in a high yield savings account where you're accruing interest and you're just making monthly contributions into that account. Yeah, because I don't even see it here for September. So that must just be a one and done thing. So typically it looks like you're spending around $1,800 without the vacation thing. Wine was $271. I just think perhaps there could be a little bit of lifestyle creep here because you have such a high monthly take home that it could feel like it's preventing you from doing a really good job on attacking the debt right now. Let me just take a look at your future stuff. Christmas, kids $529, and investing just only got $50. Wow, so you have almost close to $3,000 just spending money that you never get back, but only $50 towards the investing stuff. So let me show you, you said your first goal was to pay off debt. Let me show you what that could look like, because actually, let me go back. You had a surplus of $1,600, so I want to add that to your debt payment here. So this is the debt reduction calculator offered by vertex42.com. What I did is I put in all 3 of your debts, including the rate and the minimum monthly payment, which a total for the minimum was $39.71. Ouch, but I know it's the student loans and we're going to take care of that here in just a second. So at minimum, you'd be putting about $4,000 in there. If we went ahead and put an extra $1,600 per month towards the debt, let's see what happens. $5,600 towards the debt. Holy cow. I love this. Okay, so down here at the bottom, we can actually prioritize your debt by interest rate. So we're really going after that personal loan in this instance because it has the highest amount of interest at 10%. In 7 months, you could have this completely paid off. If you make your first payment in October, you could have it paid off in May. And then literally, let's see, 5 months after that, in October of 2024. 2024 is going to be an amazing year for you if you stick to this plan. You could have your car paid off, and then in less than 3 years, you'd have that student loan debt entirely knocked out. This is contingent upon you staying in a home with that same mortgage. If you go into a house that has a double the mortgage, we couldn't make this possible. You'd have to really do some fluctuations in your budget, tighten up the fun money spending, and then actually really think about how long are your kids going to be in daycare for until they go into school. Once they go into school, you're going to free up a lot more cash. And who knows, it could be about the same amount of time as when you become completely debt free. So I really like this plan for you. Let's take a look at Snowball if you were to do smallest outstanding. It's the same thing, because the smallest outstanding balance is the personal loan. So for you, it doesn't matter which way you go, because the smallest outstanding balance and the highest interest rate actually keeps your debt prioritized in the same order of attacking the personal loan first, which honestly is not going to take you that long to do if you truly have an extra $1,600 that you could throw towards this debt. Another thing that you discussed is restarting your retirement contributions, and I'm curious if you are contributing to any employer-sponsored retirement plan. I don't see any of that in your pre-tax paycheck contributions table here. I'm hoping that you do, because if so, that would be a great starter place, especially if your employer offers a match. Now, because you guys are such high income earners, I have a hunch that your income eligibility has completely phased out to contribute to a Roth IRA. If that's the case, then you can move on to contributing up to $6,500 in the year towards a traditional IRA, in which it's taxed the same way as a 401k. You could do that, and then you could really work on either a non-deductible IRA, or you could work on a taxable brokerage account and really start funneling money into that type of account. And then investing in something like a low-cost index fund with Vanguard would be very beneficial for you guys. But honestly, I would start with any employer-sponsored retirement plan, especially if they have any sort of matching component feature to it. In fact, you could go ahead and do that now. If they have a match up to 5%, take them up on the match, and then use whatever else is left to really fuel and pay down the debts, especially that personal loan. Also, since I know that your emergency fund is pretty much done here too, that actually frees up even more money here. So if you were really netting like $4,000 a month, then you could absolutely make your debt-free journey even shorter. I think for you guys, you have the benefit of having such high income. You can truly make your debt-free journey a sprint. Like, I want you to be done with this as fast as possible. I know the student loans feel like a very big mountain, but because you're making so much more money, like you have more income than you do debt at this point, that you could really start to fuel the fire and just like burn it to the ground, be done with it, so that you can get back to the investing and moving into a better part of town that you really want to be in. I think if you were to try to purchase a home now while you still had the $177,000 in debt, that home purchase would likely be a cause of major stress for you, instead of being something joyful and happy and feeling like this was a sense of home for you to raise your kids in long term. That's what we really want to think about, is how can we make the long term more enjoyable? Can we make the work up front in order to hit our goals? You guys would be a fantastic candidate for my coaching program, because I can see how there are some things that we still need to address, especially because I see a lot of spending here because you have such high income, and checking back in with ourselves on our relationship with money. That's generally the underlying connection that is not actually being brought forth for you to actually break through this upper limit problem that you have of all these different expenses that are getting in the way of you truly enjoying financial confidence and living a fun life. All right, so that's a look inside of this couple's budget. I love being nosy. Thanks for being nosy with me on this. I just thought it was absolutely fun, and it had been a while since I'd done one of these episodes. Are you still enjoying them? If so, give me a big thumbs up down below. If you're not part of the Debt Free Millennials family, come join us, where we are committed to achieving more than 100,000 millennials subscribed to the channel so that we all can achieve financial confidence, crush our debt, and have more fun. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.